So if you're thinking of buying an income-generating website, one of the best places to do that are website brokerages. In this video, I'll review 4 of the most popular brokerages out there, and I'll share my personal experience with them. Hey guys, welcome to my channel where I talk about making money online, everything from freelancing to website investing. And if you clicked on this video, there's a very high chance you're in the market for a website, or perhaps you're thinking, you want to learn more about buying one. I must tell you that one of the biggest steps in the beginning are sourcing those deals, right? Finding enough websites to choose from, evaluating them, doing due diligence and so on. So I have 7 websites in my portfolio at the moment, and 3 of them I acquired through brokerages. So I know more or less most of them, on advantages and disadvantages. And in this video, I will cover 4 of the most popular brokerages, but it's important to say that I will cover the buying side of the brokerage, because obviously brokerages work both ways. You can buy and sell. So I will look at them from the buyer's perspective. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about brokerage number 1, and that's investors.club. So Investors Club have been founded in 2019 by alpha investors and pretty famous guy in the industry, Andre Illison. It specializes in listing content sites that are primarily monetized through affiliate marketing, lead generation, and display ads. So let me log into my account and show you how it looks like and what are the advantages of using Investors Club. Alright, so once I log into my Investors Club account, I see the standard homepage with all the advantages why you should use them, but I think the most interesting section right now is actual listings themselves. Once you click, you see all of the active listings, and you also actually see past listings. If you scroll all the way down here, you see that they are marked like sold, so you can see that right now they have roughly around 20 to 30 different listings available. As you can see, I have an early access here because I have a VIP membership, and I'll cover their business model down the road, but just to let you know that if you don't see certain listings, it's because you might not have a paid membership. Nevertheless, the listings page and the overview and actual listings, the UI is beautiful. I really think that they have the best UI in the market at the moment. Everything is so clear. For me, it's very pleasant for the eye. The summary is also nice. It shows you the name of the site. It doesn't show you the URL yet, but it will in a second. Show you the niche, type of monetization, type of the site, and so on. Here it shows you the historical revenue and page views, which is also very nice for a quick overview. The sales price and what the sales price is based on, what's the net revenue on a monthly average basis. Also, it shows you sometimes like this offer submitted. That means there's negotiations happening, so if you're really interested in a site, you should contact the owner really fast and make sure that you win the deal if you really want it. What I usually do, I look for the sites that the best case scenario are the ones that the revenue is either stable or going up, and the traffic is also either stable or going up. So for example, this Floor Techie looks the revenue is pretty stable, page views are still going up. The price obviously is outside my budget at the moment, but for the sake of this video, let's check it out. You see the listing once again, really beautiful, shows the key information, price, the average monthly revenue, shows you the multiple 38x, site age, the monetization methods, when it was published, because it's also crucial information, because what about if the site was sitting there for 3 months? Maybe there are reasons why nobody bought it, but at the same time you potentially have more negotiation power because the site was sitting on the market for a while. So the summary, I can also see the URL, I can see the seller information, who is this guy, where is he from, and I like these icons where it says ID verified domain, affiliate account, everything is verified with a broker, so that's really helpful because it helps you to avoid scammers. So lots of amazing information. I will make a separate video going really deep, but basically you could get the interview PDF. I can message the seller directly using their internal messaging system. And now we go to the due diligence part, with all the different sections. Once again, I see a more full view because I have a paid membership, but they also have free memberships that will have a limited view of this. They will have just the key information, but still super nice visualization of the data. Financial overview first, just a graph here. You can switch to table view, traffic overview. Likewise, it's actually connected to the Google Analytics API, so you can check different things right here. You can even do the comparison dates, business analysis, where is this niche heading, what are the trends, competition analysis, who are the biggest competitors at the moment, what are the biggest risks, what the broker thinks you should do to grow it, what's the current workload to run this business. And I really like this one. This is super unique. What are the current earnings and what are potential earnings, right? Because you want to, at the minimum, minimum, obviously you want the site not to drop, but ideally you want to buy something with the big earnings potential, like where perhaps you could add additional monetization method. Perhaps you could, add more content and so on and so on. So in this case, they think that it's, to be honest, it's almost to the max of what the site could earn. That's at the current state. Site information, all the SEO stuff, domain rating, domain authority, based on SEM Rush, Trust Flow, amazing things and interesting spam signals things. So that's great that somebody has already took an initial look. I really recommend you to verifying as much as possible. Don't just buy blindly, because humans make mistakes. Brokers can make mistake as well. It's important to do your own diligence, and this way you'll be safe. But obviously it does give you a lot of information. I mean, this would take crazy amount of time to do it yourself, so that's the beauty of using brokers, and I think Investors Club do it really well by providing this information. I really don't find many flaws with Investors Club, but the only thing I would improve is this spam signals, because for inexperienced investor, some of these things are not clear, like how important it is. Like, let's say if there's a red flag, how bad it is if some of these are red flags, because not everything is really that bad. For example, do we believe the site was built on expired repurposed domain? That's sometimes could be a good thing, but obviously you have to check yourself. So at least they give you a warning, but I wish they could give a little bit more information. Plus, you can actually download more detailed report. Crazy amount of information. You can generate PDF, to share it with somebody. It's really awesome. You can send offer. Investors Club are doing really, really well by helping buyers to assess the site. Now, about the business model, how much does it cost to use Investors Club as a buyer? So as a buyer, you can actually start a free account. So you will get some of the information. You will get access to the deal flow, just I think with the 5 days delay, and you'll get a simplified due diligence reports. However, if you go for VIP membership, you can do a lifetime for $747, or you can do a yearly for $247. You'll get an instant access to every listing. You'll get a detailed due diligence reports for free. And with the lifetime, you also get first access to new products and services. If you plan to be in a business for a while, I think lifetime makes sense. I have actually got the lifetime membership a year ago during their Black Friday sale. I think it was like $6.99 or maybe $5.99. I mean, it was a pretty good deal. I'm still happy about it. So just to share my experience, I did actually buy one site from them around 1.5 years ago, and I'm still happy. I still own it. I plan to sell it perhaps in the next few months, but I'm happy with the things went. I think they're trustworthy, they're professional, and I had no problems with Investors Club. So that's investors.club, the first brokerage on my list, and let's move to the brokerage number 2, Motion Invest. Motion Invest is another great brokerage, really suitable for beginners, because to my knowledge, they are the only brokerage out there that offer deals under $10,000. So if you're just starting, you don't want to risk too much, that's a brokerage you should probably use. So they started around 2 years ago and really grown in a solid marketplace. In the beginning, obviously, they didn't have so many deals. The website was on a simpler side, but now they have revamped it. So Motion Invest is definitely trustworthy brokerage to go and source your deals. And similar to Investors Club, they are mostly listing content sites only that are primarily focused on monetizing through affiliate marketing and display ads. That means you won't find any e-commerce business, software as a service business, and to be honest, for me, that's actually what I'm looking for. And also as a beginner investor, I think less choice is probably a better option. All right, here we go. I'm logged into my account. I see the homepage and I already see some latest websites, some URLs, but I want to see the full listing view. So I'm going to click on buy a website. To be honest, they actually recently revamped the whole design. They made it a lot easier to use. There are filters now and everything like that. Before it was a lot simpler, because I think they also had less website to sell. Right now they have decent amount, roughly 20-30 currently available, and they actually don't show the past sites that were sold, only the active ones. You can see right away that their sites a little bit below 10k, some here 5, 20, 27. Can we sort this by price? So you see the cheapest is 1,000 STD test option. Okay, that's an interesting one. You can really acquire a site for a lot less. You see, some of the multiples, to be honest, are crazy. They don't shy away from 40 plus multiples. So you can apply different filters for the niche. They have a bunch of different niches, different monetization methods, but you'll see that most of them are actually affiliate or different advertising platforms. You can filter by price. So let's say I'm gonna take catworld.co, view listing. You can even add to cart and buy it right away. So here we go, catworld.co. I can see the price, I can add it to cart. What will happen is that actually here I think they say that once if I want to buy it, I pay 1,000 right now. It's a non-refundable payment to sort of secure my right to the website, and then you do the whole transfer process and you pay the rest, bank transfer or whatever is your preferred method. So here's an overview. You can also submit an offer. So for example, if the site doesn't sell for a while, you can say, hey, you know, I want to buy the site, but just for 10K, and then it's up to the buyer to decide. Here's some overview. You know, the multiple on this one is crazy. You can see how many articles posted, which is great. I think Investors Club are missing this. If I remember correctly, visitors per month, business created. You can click on Google Analytics, a little menu. You can email them and get access to Google Analytics yourselves. So here they provide screenshots. It's a bare minimum, but here they also screenshots. I like that the screenshots of revenue verification, so you don't need to trust their data here blindly. You can also see here. I mean, the financial visualization could be a little bit better, but it does provide all the key information. You do understand, the progression in the last 12 months here. Lots of different screenshots. SEMrush data. So they use SEMrush data for ranking stuff. They use Ahrefs for backlinks analysis. So once again, screenshots, their own made summary. So it seems like they spend a little bit less time on a due diligence, for each listing, but that's normal. That's their strategy, because like I said, I think you still have to do it your own. And to be honest, they still provide 95% of what you need to know. All the other stuff is more like nice to have. It's really up to you whether you want to ask the seller more. And they recently also increased the Q&A with the seller, because before it was just like a few simple questions. Now there's a little bit more you can learn, and like I said, the payment term. Oh yeah, they have this interesting system called the Dutch auction. Is that if site is not purchased, the price drops till it gets a bid or hits the reserve price and so on. So I think none of the brokers do that, but that's an interesting way to perhaps snatch a deal. So one last thing is to say that it's totally free for the buyer to use. There's no premium memberships that they offer, so it's for the buyer, it's totally free. I'll cover the seller side in a different video, but basically it's very buyer friendly, because you can get access to the whole information, and most importantly, you can also get access to the URL totally free to do your own diligence. So that's great. There are a couple of things I need to mention just from my own experience. MotionVest is very professional. They have great deals. However, I bought 2 websites from them, and both times I had a small hiccups. Nothing major, like I said, they're trustworthy, they vet their buyers and so on and so on. However, the very first site I actually bought, the MotionVest was just starting out, and I think their due diligence process was perhaps not as, let's say, perfect as it is now. Me and my partner bought a website for 2,200 or something like that. That was an audio equipment space. Basically, we didn't notice ourselves, because it was our first website. We didn't know how to do a due diligence properly. So we didn't notice that the content was actually a spun content, meaning that owner of that site took similar articles. They went through the spun robots who rewritten an article, just changing a few words, changing the words to the synonyms, and so on and so on. So the Google doesn't notice that it's a copied article. Duplication tools don't notice that it's plagiarized content. So basically it went through all the radars, and you have to do a human test. And we didn't do a human test, because once you read those articles, it was a complete gibberish. It was like, it sounded like English, but it just didn't make sense. You could see that it wasn't written by a human. Basically, we got the site with a bunch of content that wasn't really readable for humans. However, funnily enough, it was still ranking for Google. It was still generating traffic and generating revenue and even sales. Nevertheless, we reached out to MotionVest. We said, hey guys, we were disappointed. Here's the spun content. So they said, obviously, I'm sorry. They apologized. They gave us I think 1 free article or something like that, or maybe 2 free articles. We said, okay, that's collateral damage. It was also our mistake. We should have read it better. And one side, we're happy that we didn't read it, because probably we wouldn't have gotten that site, and we wouldn't have started this journey. So Empire Flippa is a huge marketplace for buying online businesses. While the first 2 brokerages were focused on a niche content websites, Empire Flippa has a lot more diversified offering. You can purchase e-commerce businesses, Amazon FBA, lead gen, software as a service, and other type of businesses in addition to niche content websites. Niche content websites is actually, I'd say, on a smaller side of their offering. So if you are looking to diversify, if you're looking into different monetization models and different businesses, that's the brokerage to go. And Empire Flippa is really one of the OGs in the business. They've been around, my guess, around 10 years or so. The founders are super smart, they're trustworthy, they have a big team, they're growing, their revenues is huge, so this is a big company that you can really trust, which also means that one of the biggest differentiator of Empire Flippers is that you can rarely find deals below 50K. And if you find one, it's likely that it's going to get sold really fast. For example, just a couple of days, they listed something for 22,000. I checked it out. I was like, okay, maybe. I was not really in the market to buy something. I saw that 24 hours later, it was already sold. Basically, only go to Empire Flippers if you have probably at least 50,000 and ideally at least 6 figures, because that's where most of the deals are, 100K and above. And they even have deals for 7 figures or even 8 figures. This is a marketplace for buying bigger online businesses. So it's a bit less beginner friendly and more geared towards a professional and perhaps institutional investor. So once again, let me log into my Empire Flippers account and show you guys how does it look like. I'm immediately brought into the marketplace, so I can see all the listings. A little bit different view, more compact, but I mean, it's very customizable. You can click to the gallery view to get a different information. You can actually sort by monthly revenue, monthly profit. There are a bunch of filters that you can use. I have some filters saved, which is also awesome. Status, different monetization methods. You could say like, hey, I'm only interested in Amazon associates sites. You could also say, different niches. So I think they have the best filtering system out there. I'm actually gonna switch to list view because I like that more. All right, so now I'm in the listing view. It shows me all the options that are monetized with the Amazon associates. So as you can see here, the lowest price I could get something is for 32K, 32 again, 50, 50, 50. But we have roughly just 10 sites under 100K. And everything else just goes up, and then we have sites in the 7 figures range. And actually, if we remove the filters, we'll see that they are selling some sites that are very big for 12 millions, and orange ones are they are new listings. If you go down, you'll see also the older listings that I have a bunch in 7-figure range, really big sites. So Empire Flippers is known for working with big companies, and this is where institutional investors comes, different funds comes and sources the deals. So as you can see, it's not for really a beginner budget. Okay, so let's choose a site, for example, hobbies, 56,000, and you'll notice right away that it's free to use Empire Flippers as a buyer. However, in order to see the most important information like URL, frequently asked questions, and just a little bit more information about the SEO data as well, because there's no URL. So you need to show a proof of funds that you can actually acquire this site before you get the information. So you need to click on unlock the listing, and before, you need to send the documents like from your bank accounts and everything like that to Empire Flippers, and they will give you a max listing price that you can unlock for. And I think it's a little bit more to unlock for 79,000. I think you need to provide like maybe proof of 50K, and they'll add a little bit on top because you might negotiate down and stuff like that. So I have sent some bank statements, and they basically approved me for 79,000 and okay to unlock this listing. I'm unlocking it. And here we go. I'm gonna see the URL finally. Unlock successful. Here, shootbigbucks.com. I can see it for 56,000. The pricing multiple is 38. It's definitely on the higher end, but on Empire Flippers, you'll see most of them are actually in the 40s now. So 38 is actually on the lower side. So I can see top listing summary. Business generates most of its revenue for affiliates. Then Amazon Associates is just 7%. Display advertising is just 6%. Earnings, what's the trajectory, 12 months, 6 months, last month, all time. Site traffic also, okay, it's on the higher side. The page views, let's say it's on average is around 4 page views per visitor, which is quite high. You're gonna get an SEO data, opportunities, risks, So it's interesting that Empire Flippers being really practically the largest brokerage for big sites, the amount of information they provide is not that much, because the way they work is that they provide you the key information. You actually can view P&L. That's going to be like an Excel sheet, docs for like a document verification. However, what they want you to do is that if you have a question, you should schedule a call with the seller. I was on a seller side before, and I would get this call scheduled like 1 hour where potential buyer could ask any questions they're interested in. And you can also obviously just buy now if you're like, okay, there's nothing much more to learn, I just want to get it, or you can submit an offer. All the crucial information is here. It's laid out. You can make your own due diligence, and that's basically Empire Flippers. I haven't bought any sites from Empire Flippers yet, but I might do that once I exit perhaps one of my sites and I'm ready for a more solid business above 50K, perhaps above 100K. However, I have experienced a little bit as a seller as Empire Flippers. I have listed one of my sites on Empire Flippers in a 6-figure range, and it was there for 1 year. It didn't sell for many reasons. I listed basically on 2 days before the COVID hit in March 2020. I have no better words to say Empire Flippers. They're very professional. They really helped to facilitate a lot of potential calls, but it just wasn't the right match. So I had to pull that site off, make a couple of changes, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna use them again in half a year to try to sell the same business. So I definitely recommend Empire Flippers. You should go check it out. Maybe you find a deal that's gonna be a really good income generating option for you. Okay, and the last brokerage I will review today is Flippa. So Flippa is practically a household name in the industry. Everybody who has considered or perhaps purchased some online assets like websites or apps have probably at some point stumbled upon Flippa, just because it's really the biggest marketplace with the biggest offering and variety of different online assets. You know, they have basically everything from domains, page domains, from apps, websites, software as a service products, Shopify stores, Amazon FBA businesses, and many more different businesses with different monetization methods and also different assets. What's also unique about Flippa is that they have an auction system, traditional auction system where you can buy it now if the seller has set the buy it now price, or you can use an auction system where, let's say, it's 30 days and the highest bid wins. So that's really great, because sometimes you can snatch really good deals for a lower price, just in case, you know, somebody has missed it or they forgot to bid. So you can get something for a decent price. Obviously the seller always has a reserve price. I mean, it works as standard auction like an eBay. Okay, so let me log into my Flippa account and show you guys how does it look like. One thing that I want you to pay attention at, that live listings currently 6,063. I wasn't kidding when I said that Flippa is literally the biggest marketplace for different digital assets and businesses out there, and you can buy all kind of businesses, you know, e-commerce, content, apps, SaaS services. I mean, this is just like a summary. So let's say if I go browse button here, websites, all web e-commerce, you know, bunch of different things, domains, age domains, new domains, collections, built for beginners, and so on. So there's even some confidential things right here. So not everything is like super open, but let's say, you know, get a fast start under 2,500. Boom. What's the price? The multiple. Type, site age, net profit, where the buyer is from. You can add it to your watch list. You can view listings. So let's say as we are continuing the website stuff, I'm gonna check out some content sites. Let's do the hearing health and let's check it out. It's sponsored, you see. So as a seller, you can also sponsor it so it gets more views. Here's the listing site. Once again, provides key information. Multiples here is actually on a yearly, right? So that would be an equivalent of roughly 27, 28 monthly. Multiple, the profit margin, page views. This is the performance overview. I like that there's this visual graph, and edit this comment. Flippa has actually provided some comments. You know, they keep improving it. Like literally, I think the last time I had logged in was maybe half a year ago, and each time I log in, there's the listing quality has improved. And you see, that's an interesting trajectory. Not everybody would like it, but hey, it looks like it's bouncing back. Financial statistics, it's connected to Google Analytics. In most of the cases, you can request the GA access, SEMrush data, or you can buy the full report. Okay, so there's some extra monetization method for them. Bunch of attachments. Wow, they really have improved. One thing that I like, and Investors Club actually also have it, I didn't show it to you guys, but here they have the public comments. Anybody, like the seller or the buyers, could ask questions, and everybody could see the public comments on the site, public questions, so you can see what other buyers are thinking. Obviously, there could be a game, right? Some buyers could say like, hey, no, I don't like this, you know, just to put the price down to reduce the competition. But this particular site, for example, has a current price of 40,000. The reserve is 70,000. It means if it doesn't reach 70,000, the seller will not sell it. But there are 5 bids already. See bidder number 1. You can see the progression. Okay, so the highest bid right now. So like I said, it's an auction system. It's quite interesting because you can snatch a good deal if you look hard enough. This doesn't have a buy it now option, interestingly. I guess the buyer just wants to see where the auction will go. You can contact the seller, we'll see where the sell is from. Payment methods escrow.com. So this is utilized by flippa.com due to potential scam and spam risks. Once you decide to buy a site, you can use a service like escrow.com. Which basically means that you will deposit the amount needed, the escrow, while the seller will give you access to the site, can verify everything, that everything is true, everything is working. And once a buyer and seller are happy, they both can say, okay, I approve the escrow, and the escrow money basically just goes directly to the seller's account. Yeah, so it's totally free to use Flippa as a buyer. As you can see, there are some add-ons that they offer. Flippa legal, like you can write a contract, you can buy a due diligence from Flippa, you can get a SEM rush reports. As you saw, there are like 6,000 different listings. You can find listings of people who are just having a website, who are not professional website investors. So you can find sites of really high quality written by hobby bloggers who actually wrote it out of passion, not wrote it with the idea to flip the website. So you can definitely find some interesting stuff on Flippa for sure. To be honest, I have no personal experience besides having an account and checking a deal here or there, but there are a lot of rumors about Flippa being a place where you can get scammed pretty easily, and I think it's a little bit thing of the past. I listened to some of the podcasts with the CEO of Flippa, and I know that they're really working hard to get rid of that reputation, to improve their due diligence, to add more mechanisms to prevent scam. All right, so that was Flippa, the last brokerage I would like to cover today in this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any specific questions, if you have any experience you would like to share. I love hearing from you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Whack that like button. Please help me to bring this channel to the top, make it bigger, reach more people, and the karma will thank you back. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.